I'm not quite sure what this guy wants to do, but he seems a little aggressive. I don't think he is a fan of the Wilhelm Gustloff. And, yep, there we go. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, we're back in Tiny Sailor's World, and today, we're going to be checking out some old ships. So yeah guys, let's get into the video. Alright, the first ship we're taking a look at is the Wilhelm Gustloff. Now this came out a long time ago, and has not been updated since its initial release. And yeah, I don't think I've really ever checked this ship out before, or I may have and I've just forgotten, but I know it was quite a while ago. But yeah, here is the Wilhelm Gustloff. We all know it sank because it was torpedoed in 1945. And yeah, as you can see, there's a ship going down in the distance over there. Let's see if we can render aid to them. We'll see what ship it is. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, it's the Wilhelm Gustloff. That is actually surprising. I rarely ever see anyone sail the Wilhelm Gustloff in-game. Now, there are actually two liveries to this ship, and there is a hospital livery, as you can see, and then the traditional gray livery. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just stop here and rescue some of these lifeboats. But as you can see, the Wilhelm Gustloff is going down by the stern, and today, we're actually going to do a quick voyage from New York to Halifax, and that's why we're heading this way. But yeah, there we go. We are rescuing the lifeboats. We got a ton of them heading our way now, and yeah, so very cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our way to Halifax. So here we go. And we'll say goodbye to the other Wilhelm Gustloff, and its power is dying right now, as it's obviously pretty much going down there, and yeah. Now, as night approaches, I do want to pay some attention to the details on board this ship, and look at that. There looks to be another ship passing us there, but yeah, as you can see, we've got lots of people on board, on the decks, of course. We've got some staircases going down. We've got some anchor chains. We've got what looks to be a cargo hatch, and we've got anchors on the side along with benches, and even lifeboats with lifeboat davits, and also the railing. So lots of mini details there that really bring the ship to life, but obviously not as many details as we would see in a newer Tiny Sailor's World ship. So hopefully this one will be updated in the near future, because it looks pretty cool, and obviously it has some rich history. And speaking about history, we might run into some torpedoes soon by passing this channel here, because obviously we are close to an area where mines and also torpedoes are known to have been spotted. So yeah. Now, I also think that the hull shape is pretty good for this model. I have seen some images of the Wilhelm Gustloff, and the hull here looks pretty good to how it does in real life, and that is cool. Accuracy is great, but yeah, let's go ahead and keep sailing here, make sure that we are not going to run into anything or get hit by a torpedo, and it looks like we're doing good so far. Oh, there we go. Ooh, we just missed one there, but luckily we're out of the way of that submarine there, that U-boat, and we should be good. Now I'm going to go ahead and activate the hospital livery on board. We don't want to get torpedoed like the rail ship did, so yeah, running with this hospital livery should save us from actual players, but probably not the AI or mines, because you have to actually crash into a mine to get sunk, similar to how the Britannic sank. So yeah, we're making our way to Halifax, and we're pretty much halfway there at this stage. You can see that the New York text is pretty much the same size as the Halifax text, which means that we're pretty much halfway there. Now, as we make our way to Halifax, the storm has actually just let up a little bit there, so now we have some calm waters we're sailing through. But there's one thing that I have noticed on board that reminds me of the Cunard liners from the 1940s and the 30s, and this is the forward superstructure. You can see here that the superstructure steps down by one or two decks here. Obviously, two decks on the bridge level and the boat deck level, then the two decks below that, and then one deck below that. And it reminds me of the Queen Mary and the Queen Elizabeth, because they had the similar style of forward superstructure where it would step down one or two decks at a time, which I think is pretty interesting. It's classic of that 1930s and 40s style, and obviously it was incorporated on the Wilhelm Gustloff. What's great about this voyage so far is that we're actually carrying survivors from that sinking ship from earlier, and we haven't run into any trouble. We were torpedoed at, but we outran the torpedo, which is good. And yeah, hopefully we don't run into a mine really close to Halifax, because that would be such a shame. Holy cow, we are approaching that ship there. Holy cow. Let's go ahead and turn away. We also are in Halifax now, which is very cool. And is that the Titanic there? That could be. Or it could be the Olympic. Oh, wow. That is both the Olympic and the Romantic side by side there, which is very cool. So let's go ahead and stop the ship here. And, yeah, let's go ahead and back out and sink the Wilhelm Gustloff. I'm actually going to do it a bit historically here, where we're going to sink it at night, or try to sink it at night. We'll probably sink it into the morning as well. So we're going to go ahead and just back up here, and that should be good. Let's go ahead and get the anchors up, and here we go. We're going to make our way out of Halifax. This might have not been great. Let's go ahead and stop there. We don't want to crash into the old Reliable there, so let's go ahead and back up. And this should be good. We'll actually probably sink early morning now because obviously our delay in getting out of port here. But yeah, let's go ahead and finally turn the ship out of the way of these two vessels that are side by side. I think that's really cool. You rarely ever see vessels kind of coordinated like that where they're sitting side by side. So yeah, really cool. And they're both White Star Liners. So yeah. I'm not quite sure what this guy wants to do, but he seems a little aggressive. I don't think he is a fan of the Wilhelm Gustloff. And, yep, there we go. I'm being significantly damaged here, and, well, they're dead. They are dying, and so are we. But luckily, we have pumps, and that should save us. But luckily, they have been stopped. And anyways, we're going to be sinking. So speaking about sinking, let's go ahead and take care of that. So let's go ahead and sink by simulation. So there we go. We've just popped out of the water and now we are sinking. So here we go. Let's see how they have the sinking in Tiny Sailor's World. So there is the first detonation, or the first torpedo impact just by the bow there. And then we should be seeing a second one somewhere around here, I would presume. And then obviously somewhere just below the funnel or after the funnel. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Alright, there should be a third explosion happening. There it is! And the ship should now be sinking. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. We got a lot of people on the decks, which is accurate. During the time that the Wilhelm Gustloff sank, it was carrying over 9,000 people. They were refugees, and whoa, a fourth explosion? I thought there were only 3 detonations on the hull from the mines, but now we're really starting to go down. As you can see, we're rolling over heavily to the port side, and it is not letting up. This is the end for the Wilhelm Gustloff, obviously. Once the water really reaches these open areas, it's just going to continuously pull the ship down, but by this stage, there's so much water entering the ship that, well, it's too late to save anything. You just have to get out on deck if you can. And not to mention, all the decks are crammed with people trying to escape. As you can see, the ship is pretty much rolled on its side and is rapidly going to the bottom. We just lost the funnel there. And yeah, there she goes. She is really heading to the bottom now. The bridge is now awash, and I think it's my time to leave the ship. Now, unfortunately, we are sinking in shallow waters, but I'm pretty sure it should be enough to get it to go under a significant amount. You can see a lot of people hanging onto the decks there, kind of defying gravity, but obviously, this is Tiny Sailor's World, and not to mention that this is a very old ship, so obviously things are to change in the future. But yeah, we are seeing the ship go down very quickly here by the bow, obviously, and the stern is slowly coming out of the water here. You can see the rudder is in the last position it was before it sank, and yeah, there you go. It is going straight to the bottom. Now, not to mention that there are still people trapped inside this ship, so there are air pockets that are rapidly filling with water, and there's no way for these people to escape. Most of the exits on the main deck are gone, and, well, the whole ship is gone now because it just struck bottom. So as you can see, it's laying on its side, which is somewhat accurate. It was kind of, well, it's a strange position the wreck is in. Or was in. Obviously, it's pretty well decayed by now, and not to mention it was bombed and, well, looted and destroyed. But yeah, I'll have a picture up on the screen, kind of like a diagram that shows what the wreck's condition was like when it was found, or what an artist impression of it was like after it had gone to the bottom. Well, yeah, that has been the Wilhelm Gustloff. It's a very old ship in Tiny Sailor's World, and it has a very rich history in real life. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next ship. Alright, the next ship we're taking a look at is the Black Titan from the Black Star Line. this is a fictional superliner, so it didn't exist in real life. However, it was created right here in Roblox. So I don't know who created it, who designed it, but it looks really cool in game. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and sail this thing to Cherbourg. Now, since this is an older ship in game, I have checked it out, and I have also noticed how different it is compared to some of the newer ships. As I mentioned with the Wilhelm Gustloff, there's a lacking in detail on board because the ship is so old. Will it be updated? I don't know. It is still a fictional ship, so they can do whatever they want with it. They can modify the design, make it their own, and I'm speaking strictly about Tiny Sailor's World because I know that this was somebody else's design, and obviously they're just building it in game, which I think is cool. And we're going to go ahead and pull on in to Cherbourg here. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sail out to sink the Black Titan. Now, the cool thing about the Black Titan, or at least this model in game, is it's got so many gantry davits, and it really takes advantage of having safety on board. So another situation like Titanic will not happen. And obviously, you can see the funnels and some of the superstructure are based on the Titanic, as well as the hull. That should be pretty obvious. But yeah, it is very cool, and if you have the money for it, you should definitely buy it in game. Support the developers. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sail out, probably towards Cape Town, and then obviously we're gonna sink the ship. So yeah, here we go. Now, I should mention that this ship rolls like crazy in the high seas here. As you can see, it's a very thin design, so it's not surprising that it does roll as heavy as it does in game, but yeah, I didn't expect it to be this crazy. But yeah, very, very cool ship once again. I do like that there's the Black Star logo on the funnel. I don't know if you could see that earlier, but I do like that touch as well. So, yeah, just a very, very nice reincarnation of this fictional ocean liner in game. I can imagine if a tsunami hit the ship, it would roll completely on its side and maybe just capsize. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and do the capsize sinking for the Black Titan. So let's go ahead, press X, and then sink by capsize. So here we go. The ship has been stopped, but unfortunately, it's not a tsunami that's going to flip it. It's flooding, and there it goes. It has rolled on its side, and as you can see, the funnels have fallen off. It pauses and then rolls completely over. You can see air bubbles are escaping the ship, and she is now completely upside down. And you can see if we look above, the power is still flickering, and it's really cool to see the lights just glowing in the water like that. But luckily, the storm has passed, so if passengers are able to escape, they won't be washed away by the massive 30-foot waves. So yeah, as you can see, it is completely upside down, and I think it's my time to go ahead and leave the ship. So let's go ahead and hop off. As you can see, it's completely upside down, and it is definitely sinking to the bottom now. Kind of by the bow more than the stern. There's a little bit of shear line out of the water. The water line marker there is kind of out of the water. Actually, nope, it's gone now. So yeah, I think it's actually just sinking level at this stage, and the power is still on, surprisingly. Maybe the water hasn't completely flooded up to the engine room or generator room now. So yeah, but the power should be going out momentarily. I mean, look at this thing. It's completely upside down. Alright, the power has finally gone out, and this is a pretty cool scene here. Definitely like a movie poster scene. Reminds me of the Poseidon Adventure, but yeah, very cool. I love the design of this ship. It looks great, and sadly, it is heading to the bottom. So yeah, we're currently on the very bottom of the hull of the ship, and there's only just a little bit of the vessel out of the water. And unfortunately, it is the middle of the night, so it would be difficult in finding the ship, especially because it doesn't have any modern navigation on board. So yeah, as you can see, it is, yep, there it goes. It is heading to the bottom, and it is completely underwater at this stage. Alright, here it goes, and the engine parts have just fallen out of the ship, and boom, there it is. The Black Titan is completely upside down. So yeah, that has been the wreck of the Black Titan. This is a pay-to-play ship, so you have to actually purchase it through a game pass. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the next ship. Alright, and the last ship we're taking a look at is the SS America from the United States lines. And this is a ship that I have checked out in the past. However, I'm checking it out again because it is once again an old ship in Tiny Sailor's World. Now, this one does have quite a few more details than the Wilhelm Gustloff and the Black Titan, so that is a bonus, but it is still an old ship in game. So let's go ahead and get this thing moving. with the sun now risen, we can take a look at some of the details on the deck of the SS America. And I've got to mention, I love the funnels on both the SS America and the SS United States. They look fantastic, and they're definitely something different from all the other ocean liners of the time. So, yeah, with the deck details, we have some vents. We've got lifeboats, of course, and we almost ran aground there. But not yet, of course. We've got a lot of great forecastle details as well. I think the forecastle on this ship is the most detailed part of it. And on the stern, we've got a lot of details as well, including obviously this area just below the main deck there. It's a little open promenade there, as well as some deck details like the games being painted on the deck. That's something that they didn't have to add, but they did anyways, which is really cool. So yeah, these little tiny details really do make the ships come to life in game, as I've said many times before. So yeah, now this is a pretty epic shot here, seeing the SS America sailing ahead, and you can just see the bow shape as well. Really, really nice. That's why I like the SS America. It had a great hull design, and it just looked awesome. Just a shame that it wasn't saved or was able to be towed to where it was going to be turned into a hotel. So yeah, but as you can see, we're about to make our left turn for, well, of course, San Francisco. We'll actually be passing Cape Town. We'll pick up some fuel on the way through Cape Town. And yeah, there is our opening to get to where we're going. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so here we go. We're actually passing through what looks to be a sort of canal here. I see a treasure chest off to the left, but we don't have time for that. We got to make our way to San Francisco as fast as possible at 22 knots. So yeah, but this is just really nice. It's great to just sail around in tiny sailor's world, and I just noticed we almost got torpedoed, so that wouldn't have been good, but luckily we missed that. So yeah, as you can see, we're making some serious headway here. We're already through the channel or the canal there, and it's only a matter of time before we reach Cape Town and the actual docks and buildings load in. And as I say that, there they go. So yeah, we're going to go ahead, obviously, pick up fuel and hop over to San Francisco and, well, sink this thing. So yeah, here we go. And let's go ahead and pull around here. Alright, so here we are. We are at Cape Town. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and pick up fuel. We're actually not even going to stop and head straight to San Francisco. Now, I should mention that the America was actually named twice on this ship. Once when it was under the United States line, and second when it was owned by a charter line. And that paint scheme that they used was this all bluish purple, and this dark blue, I should mention, or should say, because it really isn't purple. But yeah, very interesting, and we're going to use this livery all the way through to San Francisco. And, well, what happened when they actually chartered the ship is it was just a disaster. It was a mess, and the ship actually got sold off at auction and was bought by Chantress once again, and that's when they removed her forward funnel. So, yeah, very interesting history. There's a whole video by Bright Sun Films and another person about the SS America, so definitely check it out. Well, now we've only got one more stop to go, and that is San Francisco. So, yeah, pretty long voyage here all the way from New York. And, yeah, it's just really cool to be sailing the SS America once again in Tiny Sailor's World. Whoa, something happened. Our bow is down in the water, and our speed is reducing. Let's get our pumps up here. What is going on? Wow, we are really low in the water. I think we might have struck a mine. I'm surprised I didn't notice that, but, yeah, this is not good. I think we're gonna go down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go down at this stage. I think, actually, no, I think our health has, kind of stopped going down, so I think that means that we're gonna stop sinking. I mean, our bow is really low in the water, but that could just be because of the waves. Alright, here we are. We are at San Francisco, and somehow we made it in one piece. Not quite sure how we did it, but we did. And unfortunately, right near the end of our voyage, we struck a mine and damaged the ship. But no worries, we're going to sink it anyway. So we'll go to the sink menu here, and obviously, we'll sink by the bow with the starboard list. So here we go. And that should end the SS America for good. So there it goes. It is heading to the bottom, as you can see there, beginning to go down. Its bow is about to go under. Well, it was about to go under for a second there. Oh, yep, there it goes. And yeah, heading to the bottom very quickly. And from the bridge view, quite a sad scene. The forecastle is now gone. And wow, that is actually an incredible sight there. Oh my gosh, let's hop off there. And yep, there goes one of the funnels. And the second one should be going in a moment or two. And yep, there goes the second funnel, and now she's going completely vertical and is heading to the bottom. Well, there goes the SS America, heading straight to the bottom. There's quite a few people in the water because not a lot of lifeboats got off the ship. It sank so quickly. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.